We're going to be going through every single main antagonist in One Piece with this beautiful tier list that I've created myself. And no non-canon characters are going to be included on this list, as well as characters that turn bad to good, like Boa and Kuma. They're not going to be on this list either. Alvida, she's a beginning villain. Not very strong. No backstory, really. Unless you want to consider her being fat a backstory. Up to you. Yeah, not much influence. Yeah, but no, she's going here because, no, she's trash. X-Hand Morgan's next. Now, X-Hand Morgan was a little bit more vicious, you could say. But at the end of the day, he's a beginning villain, and he got his cheeks clapped. I'm not even going to lie to you. Yeah. Going right here as well. Oh, and we've got Higuma next. This is the guy that thought he could press Shanks, if you guys don't know. This is the guy who spilled a drink on Shanks and then like made fun of him and spat on him or whatever he did. He did some weird stuff to Shanks. This guy's a clown. Didn't he get eaten by the sea beast? I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, this guy is also a Foxy level threat. So where we are right now, it's the beginning of the story. It's gonna be all Foxy level threat, you know, characters. They're not gonna be that strong. Buggy next. Okay. We're talking about a guy who, yes, in the beginning he was just a complete clown, but look at him now. Risen through the ranks. He's a Yonko. Okay? Even if it's just for, I mean, he's a fake Yonko, but he's a Yonko. Okay? He's the leader of the Cross Guild. This guy is a Buggy level threat. It's in the name. Can I really not put him there? I have to. He's not Menace to Society, though, because he's just not strong. He's got, I guess you can kind of say he's got a backstory since he was on the Gold D. Rogers ship with Shanks. You know what? It's kind of a W backstory, actually. And then his influence, he's highly influential because leader of Cross Guild. Next up, Captain Kuro. Okay, this is our first good villain. I'm not even going to lie. This guy, what was it? Smartest in the East, or second smartest in the East Blue? What else? His backstory, he was faking being a butler for 3 years? That's wild. I would not do that. That's not worth it to me, but I mean, hey, props to you. At the beginning of the series, all the characters were weak, let's be honest. No Haki, I mean, not a lot of them had devil fruits. It was just weak characters. But you know what? As a villain, I think he's at least mid. I mean, come on. This dude was like, this was the first guy that like gave Luffy a scare. Don frickin' Krieg, the GOAT. The GOAT. Yeah, he's trash. He got pooped on by Mihawk. What else did happen to him? This whole crew was like starving to death until Sanji decided to cook for him and Chef Zeph. This guy really should not have made it out of the Grand Line. You know what is crazy? It's actually mad impressive that this guy made it out the Grand Line. Like looking back on it, especially at his power level, this guy right here made it out of the Grand Line. Backstory. Got wrecked on the Grand Line. It's a mid backstory. Power, he's kind of weak. And then influence, I mean, he was the ruler of the East Blue, so I guess that's kind of influential. Does he deserve a cat burglar? You know what? I'll give it to him. He's Don Krieg. He's got to be at least cat burglar of. Arlong, this is a really good villain. I'm going to tell you straight up right now, he's above Captain Kuro. He was pretty strong for the time. I mean, this guy was chomping through cannonballs like a weirdo. I don't know why he was doing that. His teeth were regrowing. That's just weird. Also, the strongest fisherman we saw in the beginning of the series, so he was a part of the Sun Pirates, now that we know what this symbol means right there. He took over Kokoyashi village. Did we really even go into a backstory for Arlong? I guess during the Fishman arc we kind of did, but it kind of wasn't even his. Especially because what he did to Nami, making her, like, he's kind of a menace for what he did. Like, he literally had no intention of ever keeping his deal with Nami. I gotta say he's above Captain Kuro, but he's not in the Buggy level threat. Oh wow, we're already up to Smoker. So honestly, I was thinking about not even including Smoker in this because he's kind of like, is he really even a bad guy? But then again, like, to be an antagonist, you don't have to be a bad guy. Like Katakuri's on here. He's not really a bad guy. But like, yeah, we included Smoker. At the time, this dude was a Logia that could not ever be touched. Like, nobody was touching this dude. Like, Luffy literally did not know what to do against this guy. The only way he even beat Crocodile was by putting water on his hands and blood. Don't know how that even worked. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But yeah, let's get back to Smoker. Smoker, like I said, he's always got 2 cigars in his mouth. At the time, he was really powerful. Influence, he's a Marine Vice Admiral now. So he's went up. He's kind of influential. And then backstory. Well, we know he was at Roger's execution, and he smiled at Roger. So that tells me that he didn't think Roger was a bad guy. That's at least what it tells me. I don't know. Maybe you guys think different. I think Smoker thought that Roger was a good guy. He's kind of like a lovable loser. Like, he's mid. Is he below Captain Kuro? I'm putting him below Captain Kuro. As an antagonist, not as a character. Okay? Don't get it twisted. Next up, we got the boat muncher himself. I don't know what this guy is on. He's on something else. But apparently he has a good metal business now. Apparently like he's like a trillionaire. He's super rich. Wapple. Don't know how that happened. He was munching on boats. He munched on the Straw Hats boats. He's probably munched on a whole bunch of other things that we don't need to talk about. He's going in Cat Burglar. I'm sorry. He's just going in Cat Burglar. He's below Don Krieg too. He's not all that. Okay. Finally. Thank you. We've got a somewhat decent villain. Well, besides obviously the GOAT. But we've got a decent villain now. Crocodile. This dude's a menace. He tried to take over an entire country and almost succeeded. He's going to have an awakened sand fruit. He's going to have hockey. And he's going to have more drip. He's going above Buggy. I'm sorry. Next, we got the guy who is just a complete clown. In the Skypiea arc, or the Jaya arc, whatever you want to call it, this guy was a clown. But where it gets even worse is that he reappears in the Dressrosa arc to become an even bigger clown. He's above Don Krieg. How about that? Because realistically, think about this. He's not strong, but he is ruthless. Okay, wow, he just took the words out of my mouth. Now we've got one that's people are on one side and the other. People have very differing opinions about Enel. Me personally, I think Enel is sick. He's the first guy to ever introduce observation hockey too. Unless you want to consider the priests. Very powerful. Arguably, if he had hockey and he knew how to use it, he could be one of the strongest characters in the entire series. If, this is a big if. At the time of the story, this dude was untouchable. Nobody could touch him. The only reason why he lost is because why? Luffy is made out of rubber. That's just really unlucky for Enel. It's just really unlucky. Influence, this dude was literally God. Making an arc out of the Golden City's gold has to put him in a menace. This guy's a menace. He saw the gold on the ancient city. He saw the buildings all made out of gold, and he said, slaves, go take all that gold down, melt it down, make me a boat out of it, a flying boat. Who thinks of something to do like that? And then once he loses, he babies out and goes to the moon. Yeah, he's gone right here. I'm sorry. It's named after him. If I didn't put him there, I'd be lying. I just can't. We got Spandam next. So where do I even start with this guy? He got babied by Tom and Frankie and basically everybody in Water 7. He's very weak. Apparently his power level is 9, which is less than a Marine's. A Marine's is 10. A regular Marine soldier is 10. This guy is less powerful than a normal base Marine soldier. But, now this is where it comes in. His influence, CP9 leader, and now the CP0 leader. And what else did he do? He took Robin into custody, and he took Frankie into custody, and he basically got Tom killed. This guy is a menace. What's holding him back is his backstory and his strength. I'm telling you, I think this guy has got to go at least Buggy level threat because... And he called a buster call! Oh my god! I forgot. He called in a buster call. This dude called in a buster call for no reason. Just no reason. Got an island blown up. Top of mid? You know what? I'll listen to you. Now we're getting into some interesting characters. We've got Robert. Robert right here. Robert Gucci. Okay, so Robert Gucci. Do I need to explain Do you want me to explain, or do you just want me to leave it as is? Because this is just... Is this even debatable? He killed 500 people because they couldn't defend themselves. Moving on. Ores. So the fact that this had Luffy's shadow kind of changes things. Because if it was regular ores, maybe he's some beast that just kills everybody. Since it had Luffy's shadow, it was kind of funny. Because he was saying, I want to be king of the pirates, I want a pirate hat. He made a freaking pirate hat out of a building. It was stupid. Honestly, he's gonna go in the mid tier. I can't lie. Like, he's super strong, but that's about it. That's all there is to him. If you've seen any of my shorts, you've probably seen the glow down video. Yep, this guy, Gecko Moria, he was at the top of it. There's a big reason. Backstory. He got his crew demolished by Kaido, and then he got demolished by Kaido. Oh, and at that time he was skinny, and he knew how to use hockey. Take a look at him. Oh, and he also forgot how to use hockey now, on top of that. And now he has zombies as his crew, because he's scared to lose, or, I mean, it's kind of sad, honestly. You know what, it's kind of sad. I feel bad for him, but at the same time, I don't really care. I mean, like, how do you let yourself go to this? It's a glow down. It's a glow down. Strength-wise, the shadow fruit is strong. And then influence, you can't really have much influence on the One Piece world when you're kind of on your own little world in Thriller Bark. If you know what I'm saying, it's kind of hard. So I guess if you want to say he had influence over Thriller Bark, that's about where his influence ended. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, I actually just thought of something. Villain-wise, hold on, I actually just thought of something. Villain-wise, Gecko Moria is probably mid. He's not as bad as Krieg, this guy, but he's not as good as Crocodile. So he's probably mid. Yeah. Yeah, I thought of that. He's going in the mid tier, and he's going below... He's going below Spandam. Okay. You need an explanation? Or are you good? So Magellan, power, our strength, I guess you could say. Venom fruit, very strong. I don't even like. Is that even debatable? I think he clapped. Didn't he clap like Blackbeard's whole crew and Luffy? And they all survived somehow. I don't know. Luck, plot armor, whatever you want to call it. Backstory. He's a warden. And then influence. He's a warden. He's a warden of Impel Down, like the biggest prison in the whole freaking One Piece world. He's Buggy level threat, and he's above Buggy. I'm sorry, yeah, he's above Buggy. Next, Sengoku. Strength, off the charts. The Buddha fruit. I mean, come on. What else? Oh, yeah, he's a fleet admiral. That's massive influence. Backstory. We know that he wasn't at God Valley, but he was alive, I guess you could say, or he was part of it, kind of. Him and Garp were like the dudes, although Garp was like more of the dude, but you know what I'm saying. And then during this arc in Marineford, he was basically the guy that got Ace executed, because he was the one who called for the execution. Now, to be fair to him, Blackbeard's the guy that turned him in, turned Ace in. This guy just carried it out. Well, not this guy. This guy morally carried it out, but this guy was going to carry it out. So as an antagonist, I'll give him, because he's so strong and so influential, I'll put him above Magellan. That's fair. He's not a menace, though. Like, he's a nice dude. Like, he's a nice guy. Next, we've got a Kainu. Alright. Backstory. I know this dude's backstory is about to be nuts. This guy's about to have one of the craziest backstories of all time. We don't know it yet, though. So I'm not going to get... let's just say 0 for backstory. 0. Next. Strength. Very strong. He's got one of the strongest offensive Logia Devil Fruits. Just offensive Devil Fruits in the entire series. Next. Influence. He's now currently the Fleet Admiral. Can't really get much more than influential than the Fleet Admiral. And I'm going to add a second, or a fourth stat, if you will, or attribute. Trash talk. Because his trash talk basically got Ace donated. His trash talk donated Ace. Like, hold on. Let me just show you something. Ace D Donut. Okay. Yep. All right, here we are. Yeah. So his trash talk had this happen. Yep, this right here. This is what, yeah. Honestly, I'm going to put him above Charlos. Even though Charlos is like a menace, low-key. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to move Charlos below Rob Lucci. Yeah, below Rob Lucci. I'm gonna move him below NL too. Honestly, I'm making an adjustment. Next we got Blackbeard. Let's go ahead and get straight into this one. He turned an ace. Okay, he turned an ace after he killed one of his own crew members. Okay, he killed one of his own crew members for a devil fruit. Now it was a strong one. I mean that's fair. But he killed him. Took the devil fruit. Oh, and by the way, this was all planned. This was all planned. Everything that's happened. This is premeditated. This is like negative first degree, okay? Then he takes the devil fruit, runs, eats it, whatever, starts assembling in a crew, turns in ace, becomes a warlord, then goes to Marineford after Ace has died, okay? And Whitebeard is on his deathbed. And then just finishes Whitebeard off, okay? Takes Whitebeard's devil fruit. Yes, devil fruit. Now he has 2 devil fruits. He's a Yonko, strength off the charts. Yonko, that's influential. Backstory is, I mean, it's menacing. It's very menacing. Is he above Akainu? I think he's above Akainu. That's just me. Yes, sir. We've got Fat Luffy, the GOAT. Now this guy, power, none. Influence, none. Backstory, none. GOAT, yes, he's a GOAT. He's a GOAT because I don't really know why, but he is. He might honestly be below Foxy. I think he has to be below Foxy. Because realistically, he's weaker than Foxy, which is crazy, but he is. Horty Jones. This guy took roids. That's a W. W villain right there. You know he's a W villain when he takes roids, alright? Backstory-wise, it explains things. It explains why he did things, but, like, he's low-key just a menace. Like, his backstory, I understand. I understand why he did the things he did. I understand why he hates humans, because they persecuted him and they persecuted his fellow fishmen. Bro was juiced up on the octane from Apex Legends. So honestly, the only thing really holding Horty Jones back from being in the menace tier, to me, is his stupidity. He really thought he could win. He almost... Okay, listen to this. Just listen. He almost lost to Zoro, and he would have lost to Zoro, in the water. Zoro is a human. Horty is a fishman on roids. Oh yeah, and he also ended up looking like some old man in a jail cell at the end because the roids took effect. The roids really ruined him. So because he's an idiot, is he above... Honestly, I think Arlong's a better villain. Antagonist, I should say. That's a different word. Caesar's backstory, he was an assistant for Vegapunk. So, and we've seen Vegapunk in how he's so cool and so smart. We've seen him in the manga, at least. I don't know how this guy was an assistant. That doesn't really make sense to me. And he's now been reduced to a smile, or a SAD, sad producer. That's all he does, really. He's just kind of... And he tests on making giants. Artificial giants. He's kind of a loser. His power, though, the gas fruit is... It's a good fruit. I can't lie. It's a good fruit. I mean, he can literally pull the oxygen out of the air. That's pretty overpowered and broken, if you ask me. I mean, I don't know. If someone pulled the oxygen out of your air right now, you'd probably start suffocating. I mean, that's just stupidly overpowered. Actually, I don't even know how they won, realistically. Why can't he just pull the oxygen out of the entire Earth's air? Alright, maybe I'm stupid. Influence. He kind of secluded himself to Punk Hazard. Influence-wise, he doesn't really have influence, but he does have the potential to ruin a lot of things. Because if he stops producing SAD, Doflamingo would stop making smile fruits, and Kaido would become a very angry man. More angry than the one he's usually. And these two would probably not exist anymore. You know what? He did harbor children in a facility. I think harboring children in a facility is definitely Buggy level threat like stuff. Like, he's not above Buggy. God, no, he's not above Buggy. But harboring children and testing on them is definitely like Buggy level threat. Doflamingo! 24/7 wearing black Air Force Ones. Yeah. The energy is just different with this guy. Killing his own dad when he was like 8 or 6 or whatever he was. Killing his own brother. To be fair, his brother kind of ratted. And to be fair, his dad is kind of stupid. And then just his smile. His smile is very menacing. Honestly... And then his oh, wait, let's go through that. Backstory. His backstory is a complete W. Oh my god, his backstory is really good. Very good backstory with Dofi. It went from a celestial dragon to a common human to hating his dad to basically never being happy. I mean, then to finding a family. I mean, it's kind of his family. It's his family. His brothers, basically. That are not really his brothers, but, you know, they're his brothers. And then his power. He's pretty powerful. He's got Conqueror's Haki. He's got a decent Devil Fruit. Not the best Devil Fruit, but it's up there. And then influenced. This guy was a former Celestial Dragon. Okay. Oh, sorry, my neck just like broke. Former Celestial Dragon. He has information that only Celestial Dragons have. This guy has information that only Celestial Dragons have. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, and the Dofi Walk is menace to society by itself. And if I'm not mistaken, has he been recruited to the Cross Guild? I'm pretty sure he's been recruited to the Cross Guild. The world government sent assassins to Impel Down to get rid of this dude. And he survived. He's above. I mean, look, I don't know if Blackbeard killed his own dad and father. I don't know. But he did. Jack. Okay. Yep. Disappointment of a lifetime right here. He was supposed to be this ruthless guy. I mean, in Zou, he was. He pretty much destroyed all the minks. Wrecked them. The whole place was destroyed. But when it came to Wano, kind of mid. He's strong. He's definitely stronger than... I don't know, like the whole mid-tier, basically. He's stronger than the whole mid-tier. He's a billion-berry bounty. His influence might be kind of high because he's a beast pirate. He can order people around because a beast pirate is a big name tag to have, or a big title to have right by you. I'm going to say he's mid, but he's above Spandam. Vinsmoke, Judge. Other than being a father, he is also... the commander of Germa 66. No Aokiji in this. You know what? I hate cringe, you're right. I should have included Aokiji in this. I'm a failure in life. You're right. You know, no, actually though, you are right. I should have included Aokiji. Because he didn't really turn good. He just turned into a pirate. Judge. What was I going to say about this dude? Oh yeah, he's a terrible father. He basically outcasted his own son. Kicked him out, basically. Practically. He locked his own son in a jail cell. What? What? He hated his own son. Okay, Sanji, by the way, who is my favorite character. Very influential, though, because he controls Germa 66, which is technically a kingdom, even though they're not really a kingdom, per se, you could say. I don't know. They're weird. But, at the whole kick arc, he was reduced to a crybaby, really. He was crying for his life. He was sad that he failed and everything. And he was even more sad that the 3 sons that he did love didn't even care that they were about to die, or that he was about to die. So he kind of looked like a fool in the end. But just for the fact that he hurt my boy Sanji, he's going over here. Alright. He's going below Crocodile. And he basically murdered his own wife. He's going above Crocodile. Oh, speaking of someone with advanced observation haki, we got the GOAT, Katakuri. Now, like I said, not a villain. He's an antagonist. And I'm going to be Straight up, as an antagonist, he's a complete W. He's a W. Backstory. He was a bullied little I mean, it's kind of like the I don't want to say generic, but it's kind of like the generic anime backstory. He was bullied as a kid. Grew up to be some really strong guy, basically. And he likes donuts. I'm wondering if he ate Ace. Okay, you know what? Moving on. We're putting him in the... As an antagonist, he's a really good antagonist. Thing is, this is more suited for villains, the way I named this. The way I named the tier list makes this weird, but he's going to go in the the menace to society tier. I'm not saying he's a menace. I'm saying he's a really good antagonist. That's what I'm saying. He's a better, you know what? He's a better antagonist than an L. Yep. Okay. Perfect. All right, we're good. Hold up. I just got back. How is Judge above Crocodile? Dude was trying to nuke a nation and orchestrated a civil war. You know, maybe this is maybe this is the Sanji bias kicking in. Trust, bro. Trust. Orochi. This is like the perfect spot, actually. Actually, you know what? Low-key, he's right here. He's above Rob Lucci. Because even though Lucci is like an assassin, he's kind of a... Yeah. Orochi, let's go through what he did. Backstory. He was a bum. That's his backstory. He was a bum. Rose to power because he was a bum. And he was kind of like Blackbeard in a way. Actually, there's a parallel between them because they both kind of rose to the top by some underhand methods, basically. And it makes him a good antagonist. It makes him an even better villain. And I was very happy to see when he got all of his heads sliced off. Pause. Bro, I can't even... Akainu loves making donuts? You know what? Good call out, bro. Perfect. Big Mom. Backstory. She was basically a little child who was not so little. That's basically her backstory. She was a little child acting like a kid would. Well, I guess not completely like how a kid would, but she was a little child who was not so little. And it didn't work out for her. And she ended up having, what, like 40 billion husbands or 40 husbands, 85 kids, and they're all pretty strong. And she's basically breeded to make everybody in her kingdom a different race, which is, if we're being realistic about Big Mom, her power is up there. She was a Yonko. She was. Influence, highly influential, Yonko. The Soul fruit is pretty good. Her backstory was, it's a good backstory. But she did have a glow down. I don't know if I can really take off points for that, but as an antagonist, she was low-key a disappointment in Wano. No. Above Orochi. Okay, look. I know this one's kind of No. Actually, no. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yep, I fixed it, trust. He's not above Dofi. Kaido. Next, Kaido. Yeah. She ate kids? Nah. Don't worry, bro. Trust, bro. She ate kids? That doesn't matter. Just not more menacing than Dofi. The Dofi walk. You know what, low-key, Kaido's below Dofi too. Backstory? Not really. I mean, if you want to kind of say that he was captured by the world government and tested on, and he was a part of Rocksteady's, Beck's crew, I guess you could say that's kind of a backstory. But it's not, like, they didn't really go into depth, really. It's definitely a menace. There's no argument for that. He took over a country, much like Crocodile, and took down its greatest warrior, Odin. Not only that, he basically made all the plant life and food, the animals, the water. They can't even drink or eat. I don't know how Wano survives, really. Where do they get the food from? God knows. God, where's God? God knows. Strength is out of this world. He's got every form of hockey. He's got Conqueror's coding. He's got advanced armament. He's got advanced observation. He's got this, and he's got one of the best devil fruits in the whole series, the dragon. This is just ridiculous. Realistically, he should be above Dofi, but he's just not. Okay, this guy, he low-key does wear black Air Force Ones, but like they're low tops. Like Dofi's are high tops, so it's different. The Gorosei. No backstory. I'm gonna be straight up. We don't know their power, or their strength, I should say. We don't know their strength. You know what we do know, though? Their influence. They have massive influence. There's also a theory that these dudes have all had previous op owners, op fruit owners. You know, Law. Oh, I don't have Law on here. My bad. I don't know why I thought I had Law on there. Previous op fruit owners do the immortal jutsu. What? Sure. That's this. There we go. Yeah. Highly influential. Gorosei. Next we got Imu, the ruler of the entire universe, basically. Yeah, that's pretty highly influential. He's gone here. This guy had a crew with Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, Stussy, or whatever her name was. I don't even remember. Some other really strong guys. I forgot. I don't know why they're not popping up. All right. He had. I don't know who this fat guy is. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh yeah, Shiki. He had Shiki. Yeah, this guy was. He's in his own tier. All right. Now, although he's not, I guess you can't really say he's a main antagonist, which is why I don't know why he's even on this list. I don't know why I put him here. I'm not gonna lie to you. As a villain or character, it took Roger and Garp to stop this dude. The strength alone puts him here. That's it. He doesn't need to even have influence. He doesn't even need to have backstory. Strength alone puts him here. This dude pulled up to God Valley and decided to... Okay, imagine Luffy pulling up to Marijois. That's basically what Rocks did. Yep. And then with that, that is it. This is what the list is looking like. We added a few, we added 5 more tiers along the way. I don't know how that happened. These 5 were supposed to be sufficient, but I guess they weren't. I mean, this one's understandable. These 2 are as well. Actually, these 2 are as well. You know what? They're all understandable additions. I like it.